Hey guys, it's Ethan here from Won't Stop Gaming, and today I'm going to bring to you a new segment. I'm going to call it the Economic Gamer, or Economic Gamer, whatever you prefer, it doesn't really matter. This is where I'm going to show you guys some really good games for some really good prices. Basically, I got this idea because I'm a gamer, but I have no income, so all the games I buy have to be pretty cheap, and I really want the most bang for the buck. So I've done a lot of research on cheap games that I think I'm going to have a good time with. So I wanted to pass that knowledge off on to you guys. The price range for all these games is going to be anywhere from free to $5. So, yeah. So let's get started. The first game I'm going to talk about right now is Viking: Battle for Asgard, which is a game published by Sega. It appears on the Xbox 360 for $4.99. I'm sorry if you're on the PS3. I think it's $6.99 at GameStop. So that's pretty solid. So let's talk about this game. I got this game for myself after finals as a little treat because I decided I needed a new game. The game itself is pretty good. It's an action RPG-ish kind of thing where you play as a Nordic hero who's been brought back to life to defeat Hel, who is essentially the Nordic Hades in Norse mythology. And so basically you can tell that there's a lot of polish on this game because the combat system and then the climbing mechanics and sliding mechanics and stuff are really well done, and they work almost completely seamlessly, so that's really cool. The combat is a little hack and slashy, and it gets a little bit repetitive over time, and it's a little bit mind-numbing, but I'm really in the mood for that, I guess, and I really do enjoy it. Basically, there are huge battle scenes after you. What your main goal is to do is free troops and then move on to main battles, so you can take out the enemies, which are called Legion, and they appear in very large mobs and stuff like that. And when you do that, there are huge battle scenes, and it's very reminiscent of the older Lord of the Rings games, if you've ever seen those. You get some magic spells, which is kind of. It wasn't completely well done, but they're there, and they're pretty good. They're helpful. I use them a lot. There's a rage mode where you can do some different combos. They're combo moves, so it's kind of like Darksiders, or I guess, what's it called? Dante's Inferno, or, of course, God of War. It's kind of like that. Overall, really good game. I'd recommend it, especially at this price point for $5, or $7 if you're on the PS3. It's worth it for you. I know I said I was only going to do things that were $5 and under, but I'm talking about the Xbox 360 perspective right now. So next up, we're going to go to one of my favorite games of all time, and that is Fable 2 for the Xbox 360. It is an Xbox exclusive, so I'm sorry, PS3 fans. And this is an RPG published by Microsoft, which is going to run you $4.99 for just Fable 2. There's also a 2-disc combo, which is $15. These are all used. And that comes with Halo 3 also, which is, I would also kind of recommend that, but I also won't at the same time. Because you can get both individually. Yeah, and you can get the 2 boxes. It's okay. And then finally, Fable 2 with the downloadable content. It's the Platinum Hit one, which is $18. I would not recommend doing that, but we'll get into that in a minute. So Fable 2, you play off as an orphan whose parents have been killed by the king of Albion, which is the land that you're trying to take over and liberate from evil and stuff like that. And your entire mission is to kill the king, regicide, if you want the fun grammatical word for that. So basically, this is this was my favorite RPG of all time before I played Skyrim. Unfortunately, Skyrim did dethrone it. Oh, I guess not really. Unfortunately, I found a better game. It focuses a lot on the good and evil, and your character will look either angelic or demon-esque if it has gone through some bad things. So like what you can do is choose to kill everyone in a city. Now you need to worry about the repercussions of killing everyone in a city. People aren't going to necessarily like that, so they're going to try to attack you. At the same time, if you save people from bandits, give money to charity, yada yada yada, or do quests in a good fashion, you'll be rewarded for it. Of course, being bad has its own rewards too. There's people who appreciate darkness, and there's like the Dark Brotherhood and stuff like that. I think Dark Brotherhood, is that what it is? I could be mixing this up with Skyrim, which also is the Dark Brotherhood. Whatever, they like bad things. There are people who like bad things. It's about 20 hours of gameplay. A little bit more, I guess. There's a lot of collectibles to find. They're gargoyles. There are about 50 of those, and then there's some really ancient weapons that are really cool for post-game stuff. Overall, one of the best RPGs I've played of all time. I pretty much played it straight through when I got it. Storyline's pretty good. The combat system's a little bit lacking, but you get to use ranged magic or normal melee attack. So it's a good game. Definitely worth the $5. The fact that it's that cheap is mind-boggling to me. So yeah, moving on. Let's leave the RPG genre, but we'll stick with the Xbox exclusives. I'm sorry. And we're going to Gears of War, which was published by Microsoft, created by Epic Games, for also $5, $4.99. So, if you have not been living under a rock, you've heard of Gears of War and Gears of War 2 and Gears of War 3, which are all amazing games. Personally, I think the second one's a little bit better. It makes sense because it's Gears of War 2, not Gears of War 1. And the online is going to be pretty much dead at this point. I'm sure there are a couple people still playing it, but I don't think it's that popular anymore, considering Gears of War 2 and 3 have already come out. But Gears of War 1 is a really good game, especially if you picked up 2 or 3 already and you want to go back for the campaign. It's worth it. So you're playing as Marcus, and yeah, there are these evil alien things called the Locusts that have been living under the earth for years and years and years, planning their attack on humanity, and they finally decide to do it. And mankind must retaliate to live. And Marcus was in the Cog Wars and became a war criminal for abandoning a fight to save his dad, or something along those lines. And he was in jail, and they take him out of jail in order to fight. So first off, this is an over-the-shoulder shooter. If you haven't seen Gears of War, another one that's kind of popular now is Warhammer 40k. That's an over-the-shoulder shooter, if you don't know what that is. And the weapons in this game are bad freaking ass. You have a chainsaw at the end of your gun, and you can cut people in half, and it's sick. Well, I'm gonna leave it right there. This is completely sick. The campaign, really compelling. You feel good. You like the characters. It's overall a pretty enjoyable experience. So, yeah, so those are the games I've got this week for Economic Gamer. If this gets a good response, I'll probably keep it up with the whole keeping this going weekly, if not weekly every couple of weeks or whatever. So, if you guys like this and you appreciate the game deals that I'm telling you about right now, or the good games, and you haven't heard of any of these, give it a like, drop it a comment, share it, I don't know. Click on the ad so I get money, I don't care. Do whatever you want. So that's it, guys. That's all I have for you today. I will see you guys next time.